dealing with the concept, and I was dealing with the psychology of having gods painted in alien forms, and how that induces self-hatred and maintains self-hatred in the people. How praying to a white man is damaging to black people, and how thinking of God as a white man is damaging to black people. I'm dealing with the concept here. Yet she felt a need to defend what she thought of as herself and her profession. But in defending herself, she actually defended the system. She actually defended the status quo. And many of us then, as neurotics, you see, as we engage in our neurotic and maladjusted behavior and defend our egos and defend our vanities and defend our prides, actually support and hold up the system. Compare it or justify the abusing family, and how we, in many instances, end up justifying a system that abuses us. Integration itself indicates that, wanting to live and be loved and lay around with people who destroyed us and enslaved us and given us the greatest pain in the world. Sometimes what we call in psychology the love of the aggressor. The people you want to love most are the people who've done the most damage to you. Unhealthy personalities cannot be created by healthy environments. Since the unhealth of an individual or group can result in the relative health, wealth, security, and power and sense of identity of another individual or group, then it serves the interests of the latter group. In other words, the unhealth of the black community serves the health and wealth of the white community. Just as the sickness of the drug addict serves the health and wealth of the pusher. So in a sense, then, it becomes in the interest of the pusher to keep the addict, of course, addicted, even though he claims he's doing him a service and a favor. The latter group becomes dependent, that is the unhealthy group, comes to need the unhealthiness, and that is the dominant group really becomes dependent and comes to need the unhealthiness of the former. If the health of the former means a reduction in the dominance of the latter, then the latter resists the health of the former despite its pretensions to the contrary. In other words, when we even see assimilationism, we don't have time to talk about it here tonight, but in many ways, assimilationism and integrationism is really another prompt for the maintenance of white power. And while we thought that we bought it in to a great extent, I would argue that to a good extent, the white ruling class helped to push it as well, because it also helps to maintain the white ruling class in power. When you have a minority of people, such as the European, often in order to stay in power, they must recruit from the very people they oppress. And therefore, they will call up from those people certain talented people or other types who then will identify with their masters and help them to maintain the control over the masses. This often will be called integration and will often be called desegregation. But ultimately, if you look very closely, you'll notice one thing, that the real power relationship between those two groups has not changed. I talk about a number of things we call constants, that if we look closely in the relationship, at the relationship between Europeans and Africans, we will note that there are certain basic things that have not changed despite all of the other things we look at. Despite integrationism, despite political and social change, there are things that are still basically the same and have been the same for the last 400 years. The real power of black people, particularly if you talk about military power, has not changed fundamentally since the very time we met the European. You may find African countries now with jet planes and tanks that they've bought from Europeans, by the way, and still have yet to make. And you may think then that the Africans have entered into a modern era in warfare and so forth. But I would dare say that there's not a single African country that could really protect the interests of black people against European power, particularly as that power moves out into space and can rain down on the African continent bombs and laser weapons and other weapons of various types. And African countries having no anti-ballistic system, no Star Wars system, no system to fight war in space, is literally defenseless. And yet they may fly the latest American jets, and in the face of American and European war power, we are still ultimately defenseless. That has not changed fundamentally in 400 years, ladies and gentlemen.
What is good, my people? We are live back again with another live broadcast on the forecast. Yo, shouts out to my brother Anthony in the building, and shouts out to everybody who gonna come in the building. Um, you know, really, I'm coming on here. First of all, I want to say one thing. On Sundays, I'm going to come back, restart doing the Black History lessons. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to start getting back into that and finish that whole thing. And I'll say, I finally finished the project I was working on, which is like, well, I haven't finished it all the way, but like literally, like, what I did was went from year by year, starting to from like the 1400s all the way up to like I got this YouTube page, you know what I'm saying? So we're gonna go through all of that history, you know what I'm saying? So we're gonna keep going with that, on Sundays. So I wanted to let y'all know because I finally finished working on, well, I got like part one, because I'm not gonna lie, it is hella long, and it took me years to like work on it. And I'm not gonna lie, like I just one day, of course, I always talk against talking points and I always wanted to learn deeper, but like something told me to like really study and learn our history and stuff like that, just from what I didn't know, you know what I'm saying, from like the 1800s to the 1900s, the 1700s, all the way back to where we are in this particular era where I'm at, but in particular, you know what I'm saying? So I've been working on that since like really like 2018, and so I got like the first part of it, and I guess I'm gonna just put it out in like a book series, like all of the history that we be talking about, you know what I'm saying? Like, so that is gonna be like coming soon or whatever, at least the first part, because I guess it took me hella long, but it's a long process, and like um going to learn everything, like every detail, and that's the crazy part, because you can't even find a fraction of like the information that we've been through. And that's why I like shouts out to y'all, appreciate y'all, because y'all definitely gave me information and taught me stuff that I didn't know, and y'all be right about so much stuff that I didn't even know, because a lot of our history is not documented whatsoever, but we don't even know the documented history and all of that, and it's a whole rabbit hole, you know what I'm saying? So shouts out to all of y'all. And I try to document everything that I find. And I was like, yo, I wanted to make some kind of documentation to give to, well, I ain't got no children or whatever, but I would have gave it to them. But, I don't know. Some just told me to do it. So I did it, And so that's where the Black History lessons on Sundays that we're gonna get back to, but that's where it's coming from. So by the time we finish it, hopefully it'll be whatever, because it's taking me hella long, you know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna lie. But anyway, now I do want to show y'all this thing here too. All right. Because shouts out to, and those of you who've been around for a minute long enough to know who my sister, my homegirl Blue is. She knows these people, and I'm just learning about it. But hopefully, I get a chance to meet them because she knows them. But they have a nonprofit here, right? So, this is what they do. Like they want to be a catalyst for positive change and driven. They're dealing with the challenges of today. So their mission statement is to provide transitional housing to include essential services to assist those challenged by homelessness and those living below poverty guidelines. to partner with those in need in a dignified and respected manner to help them achieve self-sufficiency, to partner with existing community resources to increase our capacity to create positive impact. So their vision is to implement a proven model for success and enabling the homeless man, woman, and children to attain safe, affordable housing and a livable income so they can become productive, contributing citizens within their community. All right, so fair enough, And I definitely like to meet them, and they, like I said, they farther than where I've been, but like, I need to start concentrating on like all of that stuff more, And like I said, like if people want to start doing stuff, like y'all can like hit me up, and like if like yo we could get back on to the group video calling thing, putting stuff in the collect, but it ain't gonna be like before though, you know what I'm saying? Like I was just thinking about all of these, and then I know different groups doing different things, like depending on like who it is. So like do want y'all to like start hitting me up because I'm gonna be better with that too. So I would say that. Um so they take pride in being problem solvers who are not afraid to take risks. We believe in boldness, creativity, and heart. There is nothing we can't accomplish, but above all our strength lies teamwork. Each and every one of us has the capability to contribute no matter their experience or background. With this strength behind us, just imagine what we can achieve. So yeah, definitely shouts out to them. And then let me see. I was looking them up. Um so they have a Instagram. So yeah, I guess y'all can follow them on DI Family Network. Um of course you see they got what they got going on out here. This is like the only video they got. Let me see.
The Ricky Johnson Foundation Block Party.
All right, so they just was outside that day, But I think they got like a clothing store. I don't know. Like I have to check them out and see what's going on with them. Like I said, I just like my homegirl Blue knows about them. So let me see. Um so I guess they have this. You're planning a fun event and need a t-shirt to match your brand, or think you've got exactly the right design idea for a friend's birthday. Divine Inspirations Consorted. They're a custom t-shirt printing company based in Richmond and love working on your designs to bring them to life. They also offer fast professional service. So, this is their website for like, the t-shirts or whatever. Let me see. All right. I don't know. This is the one I had. Nah, it's the one I just did. It might be the same thing. All right, here we go. All right, so they got clothes and everything for every budget. But yeah, y'all can definitely check them out. I'm going to check them out. Hopefully, and shouts out to Blue, who really be like, be doing her thing and putting in work. So shouts out to her, and shouts out to them. All right, y'all. So really, that's what I wanted to say. But you already know me. I'm not going to just say that, right? And it's so I'll say, and I'll put this up here, but I do want to say one thing about everything that y'all been talking about since it's over. It's fine now. Like y'all can say whatever y'all want to say. And listen, like I said, I'm sorry that people are hurt and all of that, But to be honest with you, and by the way, their company is called Divine Inspirations, so y'all check them out. But I will say, like, I was, extremely because it's like history repeated itself, but it's like we automatic, like we call amnesia. You know what I'm saying? Like we could be probably doomed, you know. Now, I hate to do this, you know, but it's like I don't understand how we talk about on here like, yo, I can't believe it's 2024, but y'all is still like, oh, well, America really is right. Like, what do you think it is? Like, how many times do you have to learn? Do we have to learn our lessons? You know what I'm saying? But so I'll play this, y'all, and I know that some of y'all might be mad at me, some may not be, and y'all can express yourselves if y'all want to. But and hopefully I could talk about the other thing that I wanted to talk about. If nobody comes on here, so it won't be long. But I'll just play this, you know, because I guess, you know, some people get you know, let's see if anybody got like the buyer's remorse or whatever you call it. Or do you feel afraid?
Democrats have turned our once great cities into cesspools of bloodshed and crime. There's never been anything like it. Here's my plan to restore law and order in our cities and throughout our country, frankly. First, because police forces have been gutted by Democrats' war on police, I will sign a record investment in hiring, retention, and training for police officers nationwide. So important. This bill will also increase vital liability protections for officers because the Democrats want to take those protections away from our police because we want them to do their jobs, and we want them to do their jobs right. You can't take their protections away if you're going to have them do their jobs properly. Second, to qualify for this new funding and all other Justice Department grants, I will insist that local jurisdictions return to proven common sense policing measures, such as stop and frisk. Very simple. You stop them and you frisk them. Strictly enforcing existing gun laws against convicted felons, cracking down on the open use of illegal drugs, and cooperating with ICE to get criminal aliens off our streets and get them out of our country. Third, we will go after the radical Marxist prosecutors who are abolishing cash bail, refusing to charge crimes, and surrendering our cities to violent criminals. They have surrendered like never before. I will direct the DOJ to open civil rights investigations into radical left prosecutors' offices, such as those in Chicago, LA, and San Francisco, to determine whether they have illegally engaged in race-based enforcement of the law. I will also work with Congress to give the victims of their Marxist policies the right to sue local officials for harm and suffering, and it has been great that they have caused. If your small business is pillaged because shoplifting goes unpunished, if you're brutally attacked by a violent felon released without bail or bond, then you will be entitled to massive damages. Fourth, I will order the Department of Justice, or some people call it the Department of Injustice right now, and Homeland Security dismantle every gang, street crew, and drug network in America. Every single one of them will be dismantled. We already know where these turf wars and drug dens are. We know who the people are. I'm going to charge them and charge the culprits with every crime that we can find. We're going to be fair, but we're going to be tough. We also need the death penalty for drug dealers. So important. And I'd add to that human traffickers, drug dealers and human traffickers. They get the death penalty. Watch it stop and stop quickly. Fifth, in cities where there has been a complete breakdown of law and order, where the fundamental right of our citizens are being intolerably violated, I will not hesitate to send in federal assets, including the National Guard, until safety is restored. If Nancy Pelosi would have accepted our National Guard or our soldiers, you wouldn't have had January 6th. But she and the mayor of D.C. didn't do that. Sixth, we will end the leftist takeover of school discipline and juvenile justice. Many of these carjackers and criminals are 13, 14, and 15 years old, I will order the Education and Justice Departments to overhaul federal standards on disciplining minors. So when troubled youth are out in control, they're out on the streets and they're going wild, we will stop it. The consequences are swift, certain, and strong, and they will know that. Seventh, I will protect the right of self-defense everywhere it is under siege, and I will sign concealed carry reciprocity. Your Second Amendment does not end at the state line. In addition, I will, of course, fully secure the border, dramatically increase interior enforcement, and wage war on the cartels. We have never had a border so secure as it was just 2 years ago, and now our border is the worst anywhere in the world and possibly of all time. There's never been a country that allowed to happen what's happening in the United States right now, where millions of people are pouring across our borders. They come from mental institutions, they come from the prisons, they're all being let out so they can come into the United States. They're poisoning our country. We will also take back our streets from the homeless, the drug addicted, and the mentally ill. I will discuss those plans in much more detail very soon. That is how I will bring back public safety to America. I want to thank you. We're going to make America.
All right. So, and I'm pretty sure a lot of y'all is like, oh, what the? And by the way, like they still saying like Marxist and all that stuff, like it's 1962 or something, which shows you is like, now the thing here is, right, I don't know who I'm more offended by, right, the wolf or the fox, you know what I'm saying, because it's no different from the 92 thing or George Bush or Obama, who signed that sounds like the Blue Lives Matter bill, you know what I'm saying, or Joe Biden or Donald Trump or whatever. Like, this is what I'm not like, one side is not better than the other, you know what I'm saying? Like, when they're saying all of these things, like, you got to understand, right? Now, I say all of this to say, what's going on, my brother Bukhari? You know what? And this is, in my opinion, what you needed, you know what I'm saying, to be honest with you, because now finally, well, at least for a couple of days, you know what I'm saying, Negroes finally had the courage to be like, you know what, I give up, forget it, I'm done trying to save America, you get what you get, right? Which is the mindset that you were supposed to have all this time, right? Now, see, this is no different from the same shit, the same stuff, so my bad, that has been happening, right? But this is for like the people who be like, oh yeah, well, yo, this side is good too, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is what I try to tell you, you know what I'm saying? There is no side that's good. See, what they are going to, but that's the thing that I'm shocked at, because now we're going to be like, oh, well, look at this is happening. But I have been talking about all of this stuff, no matter who has been, and to the point where y'all is like, yo, I am tired of seeing you talk about what is going on out here. You know what I'm saying? Like, and unfortunately, this is probably exactly what you needed, right? Because, you know, I will say this, right? Okay, I'll play this one first. So, all right.
Hundreds of miles south of the border in Mexico, a caravan of migrants chanting, "We are not criminals," is rushing to make it to the U.S.-Mexico border before the Trump administration is sworn in. Many carrying their belongings in plastic bags and on their backs, and already starting to voice their fears about not being able to cross into the United States come January. I think it will be much more complicated now, says this man who's traveling from Venezuela. Now we are thinking about finding a way to get through before Trump takes the presidency.
See, you know what is the fact that we argued about which poison that we'd rather take, right? Which poison would we rather take? This poison, the Flintstones poison, with the Flintstones vitamin, or like a rattlesnake, you know what I'm saying? Which poison? A lot of us was like, would feel safer if we just get the Flintstone treatment and go home and just, be cool. Okay.
DHS officials telling NBC News that they have not yet seen a surge in migrants heading to the United States, but that they want CBP and ICE officials to be prepared.
One of the first calls I'm going to make is to Mexico. You stop letting people come in through our border.
Trump now vowing to deport millions of undocumented migrants, saying his plan has, quote, no price tag. He's also threatening to impose.
Yeah, he never said. He said the Spanish people that y'all are quick to put your capes on to defend. Not necessarily immigrants, because we already know the black. If y'all have forgotten, the black ones got beaten and kicked out. Because that was the argument the whole time. It's not even the black immigrants here, but now it's like, oh well, blah blah blah. But it ain't the black one, because you're getting whipped at the border before you even get in. So you're gonna get the treatment no matter what, right? And he ain't talking about the Russians or whatever allegiance of white people they have. I don't care at this point. You know what I'm saying? Whichever allegiance of European he has to let in, he ain't talking about those immigrants, right? Because they're still gonna be taking your stuff, because that it doesn't even really matter. You know what I'm saying? But I will finish this. But the fact that now you are scared, that's the thing because the fact that you wouldn't have been scared that the same exact thing, even though y'all getting tired of me showing the same exact thing happening still, right? You'd be like, you're right. Right? At some point, you got to be like, okay, listen, maybe if we had put all of this time into being able to defend ourselves, no matter who it is, you know what I'm saying, from this threat or this threat, and we had put that energy into self, right, to where we like, oh, well, we ain't worried about what happens, is because we put like a couple $1 million into our schools, you know what I'm saying? We didn't have to make black schools great again hats on, you know what I'm saying? We didn't make sure our children were in a safer environment. You know what I'm saying? Like, whether they were there with Gomez or with whatever, or Natasha, or whatever they call them.
Pose a tariff of 25% on Mexican imports unless Mexico's government.
What's going on, Cassidra? Shouts out to Cassidra in the building.
Curbs what he describes as an onslaught of immigration. Those promises now creating uncertainty and anxiety among migrants making the taxing journey. This caravan, which set off with nearly 3,000 people on Election Day, has dwindled to just about half of its original size, according to Reuters. This man from Venezuela saying now that Trump has won, he doesn't know what to do. But
so, all right, it's not a good time. I should not say it. Because, matter of fact, I should. Like, y'all be talking about that. Why has he got a hook nose? He got like some in him or something?
Trump has won. He doesn't know what to do. But returning to Venezuela for him is like being shot in the head. Migrants in Mexican border cities waiting for legal entry through the CBP One program now also worried their plans might be up in.
Now, I'm not going to lie to you. Like, that really affects people that I know personally. Like, like I tell you, like, it's brothers that I know that lost their jobs. You know what I'm saying? Hell, jobs that I've been on, right? And that's the crazy thing, because I understand, like, I live in Virginia. Like, you work in these warehouses, right? A lot of the times, them dudes that be in the woods, that be hunting all the time, all of those quote unquote the real MAGA for real, they be the ones working with you. Like, they got like Confederate. I know I saw one white boy with a Confederate belt buckle one time. Those is the real ones, you know what I'm saying? And I be like working with them, like the ones that be like, oh yeah, we protested because of Bud Light, you know what I'm saying? And like the thing is though, right, they can pick a particular thing, right? We could say, well, we ain't gonna go to Starbucks unless some Arabs getting hurt or whatever, but we ain't gonna pick a particular thing, which we could have been talking about this whole time, strategizing, because we would have been done, we would have been hurt as far as, yeah, anyway.
Some, like this woman, are anxious that the appointments they've waited months for under the CBP-1 program could be canceled.
Él inició la conversación felicitándome.
On Friday, Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum saying she had a, quote, very friendly phone call with Trump in which they congratulated each other's presidential wins and said there will be time in the future to discuss the border issue. Time that many migrants now fear is running out for them.
Okay, Elson. Oh no. We have to make sure that we're the only ones getting messed up here. Something's wrong. We're the only ones not getting crushed. Everybody's feeling we can't have that. We got to make sure only us is at the bottom. You ever notice every single metric, no matter who does what, we at the damn bottom? Except for if we had done it. I wonder why, you know. But we can't let that happen. Yo, let me say this real quick. Like I was saying at the beginning with Bakari and Bakari and Cassidra. Like I said, I'm about to get back to the Black History thing on Sundays, you know. I finished, you know, the first part of what I was working on. I know it's been super long, but I'm gonna put it out like the whole Black History thing, like what I've been documenting. I'm gonna just like put it out, you know, the first part of it, because I know I've been saying it for a minute. But like, yo, it take super long to go year by year and try to like look up every single thing, you know. Like even Bakari, I gotta hit you up because like, yo, even what you said about like your pops, you know, that gotta be in there. You know what I'm saying? Like just to document the truth, you know what I'm saying? Because if we know the truth, if we knew better, we do better. I like to think, but this time I'm like, I don't know if we would do better if we knew better, because we would get amnesia. But speaking of amnesia, right? Now, this is why I say this, you know what I'm saying? Because y'all finally probably lost y'all American claim to citizenship or whatever you're looking for. You know what I'm saying? Now, don't worry about that. The Trump supporters are going to get jumped at the rallies. You know what I'm saying? We understand that stuff, you know. But what was disappointing is like so many of us wanted to save it and was surprised by the outcome about stuff that we talk about all the time, but now all of a sudden we forgot it. You know what I'm saying? And no, like we're not gonna say like, yo, we're gonna take this slow poison because maybe it'll give us time, because you ain't gonna do nothing anyway. See, that's the first thing, right? Now that you have no, or think you have no safety net, which you never had in the first damn place. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no John Brown coming to ever save you. This is why I always talk about the John Brown complex, right? But now that you know that, maybe you will defend your damn self. You know what I'm saying? How about you defend your damn child? You know what I'm saying? How about you take them out to school? You know what I'm saying? How about you get the brothers in around your group and one of y'all all get whistles, and when you see something going on in your neighborhood, you blow the whistle and all of the men around there come and do the stuff. Or maybe you'll be like, oh, maybe it's going to be, because I'll tell you the truth, I would have pushed the button, so I'm not even worried about that. I probably would have pushed the button. That was the only chance that we got, for real. And I take that back, you know. That's the only chance that the people that's above like 5 years old got, is for me to push the button, you know. But so I ain't even worried about that part. But I'm gonna be real with you, you know. Like now maybe we would grow some, because I don't want to see you riding around with the same exact thing happening, talking about my president is black, my Lambo is blue. I don't want to see that again, you know. I'm gonna be honest with you. Right. And like when this first time happened, like because I remember it, right? And that's why I'm like, why is so many of us surprised? Right? I was like, damn, because I wasn't even half of as aware as I am now, as they say, woke. I was like, well, maybe this would be a good thing, because people that think that they are good and that all of this other stuff, maybe they'll finally feel like they have to do something. Maybe they'll stand up. But no, like, when I say something before, even people that I love would call me racist for saying these very things. But now it's shocking for you to say this. But what's hurting for me is like the people that shouldn't be shocked is shocked. And I'm shocked by that. Yeah, what's going on? Shouts out to Raw in the building. But why was black people? I would be like, shit, I never bought Starbucks myself, but black people was not buying I would probably now. I don't know if I would just, what I'm saying. I would pick up a Starbucks cup. I wouldn't give them money though, just because it pisses off Arabs. You know what I'm saying? But why is Negro sitting there talking about, oh, well, I'm not gonna go to Starbucks because of Palestine? Like, and we would determine, because we got to be the only, because I remember the same thing in 2020. It was, well, we got to keep the Mexican little kids, and I say kids, out of the cages. Now they grew up to get out of cages and kill your children at parties and stuff. And then in 2016, when the same thing happened, I remember. And black people then was like, you know what? I'm fed up with America. And I was like, yo, finally. And I became like, I jumped on the bandwagon. Like, yes, we is finally fed up with this. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not the one that's, well, I guess I would say I am, because it's not a bad word to be racist. You know what I'm saying? But it's not even what you're saying. Like, you see that their ice is actually warmer. It's not even that their ice is not colder. It's their ice is actually warmer. It's like, and it got salt in it. But anyway, let me see. I'm only playing this. I don't even like playing their videos, but let me see.
Like they thought they would. It's kind of weird to me. But I'm going to read y'all a tweet, and there's so many of them. I could be here all day, but I'm going to start with this one. Now, this comes from Bishop Talbert Swan. He says, there is no black and brown coalition. Stop saying black and Latino.
What? But and you know what? What I'm not going to do, well, because like John Henry Clark said, I get what John Henry Clark was talking about now. When he said I would write the book, but it would give me a heart attack. Because what I'm not going to do is even bring up a whole nother class of people and ask you how you think that they voted. And y'all, if you know who I'm talking about, you know. But this is just a group of people that is like that. But I'm not even going to bring up who y'all know who I'm talking about. I hope y'all know. But how you think that what percentage you think that went to? Man, y'all in for a rude awakening. But I tried to say, like, yeah, black and brown. But black people, oh, people of color. And this is why I'm trying to tell you, I'm actually happy that black people is finally like, you know what, I'm done with people of color. What? You're finally done with that? It only took, let me see. They actually stabbed us in the back in like the 1500s. It was the Indians, ironically. If you look up the Wolof Rebellion in like 1500s, 1520s or something, and the brown people stabbed you in the back. So, and it took from 1520 something to 2020 something, 500 years. to say I'm done with black and brown for a few days anyway. We're going to be back on people of color next week. But for a few days, I'm happy about that. You know what? If you're shocked, I'm shocked.
Latinos voted on the side of white supremacy. We're in this by ourselves. Well, why did you think there was?
I was like, we are all we got like a long time. No, you're a racist. What about John Brown? What about Gomez? Oh, what about them? You know, they're the laziest workers out here. I mean, and then they take the people's jobs and then like they don't do nothing. I told you when I was working with them, like all of them, like maybe 1 out of like 12, like did a semi good job, but the rest of them like, yo, I don't speak. No hablo. Like, yo, you hablo, all right. If you don't hablo, like then you don't hablo, like, you know what I'm saying? No lunch, no paycheck, none of that stuff. I ain't doing it unless you hablo giving me part of that De Niro. You know what I'm saying? But no, black and brown, we got to get their children, kids out of cages. I don't care if they're from Mexico or Venezuela, by the way.
Was some sort of coalition in the first place. See, the ones that were really woke in the true sense of the word, we've been saying there was no black and brown coalition, no black and Latino unity. We knew that. Y'all, for whatever reason, thought otherwise. And that's why the Democrats got what they got. Because for one, they're catering more so to another community than the community that really show up for them.
And all the quote unquote Latino. Now, when there's a you see how like when there's a something for Latinos, they're gonna all stick together. But now, like, no, it's the Cubans, no, it's the Venezuelans, no, it's the all of y'all. You know what I'm saying? The black people who speak Spanish, you know what I'm saying? And they getting kicked out of their country already, so they can't even do nothing in the country that they're in. Ironically, because like we did a whole around the world thing around here, right? And then the Mexican dude tried to come on, right? And why don't you call your baby Mexican even though it's half black and half? Why you call it black? Well, because they don't accept it. Well, what if I said that I don't accept? Well, we don't give a what you say. But yeah, black and brown. I know. See, that's the thing that hurt me. It's not even is y'all this time because I'm young. This I guess is y'all. Those who are greater than me have seen this before me, but because I was a little bit in the way, but I learned from the last time. It's just all of us didn't. Now we like, oh, how could all of these other groups have let you down? Let me ask you something, right? Do you think which election did Obama win the white vote? You know, because they always be like, oh, well, America or whatever, but without Barack Obama. So which one did he actually win the white vote? Anyway,
and that community, which is a Hispanic community, they're conservative by nature. And black people are. We used to be more so. But they're like, we ain't cutting for all that stuff y'all talking about. And they also want to get to the money.
All right, anyway, I don't like playing that video, so here you go. And this is, here you go, Cassidra. That's this Arab girl that y'all stood up on.
So now that the Blue Party single-handedly handed the election over to the fascist Red Party because, surprise, surprise, causing a genocide, aiding and abetting a genocide is not going to get you fucking votes. Now that that's over, can we start focusing on the more fucking important shit here? Because
well, she's unimportant. But
so those candidates were supporting Israel, and now Israel just did a massacre against the Jabalia refugee camp and murdered 50 children in 48 hours.
That's all? I'm sorry. I'm still a little bit too extreme for y'all. Because I've actually seen this 1,000 times, like where they be at the corner store. Anyway.
Palestine and everything, right?
This is about black
money,
folks.
Whatever.
Y'all fools.
When black people just need you guys to support so that we could prevent the undoing of all of our ancestral work in America. You know what I'm saying? Public education, free meals, you know what I'm saying?
Obviously, he ain't a Garveyite either, because I thought his work was to, oh, never mind. I'm not going to speak on that.
You know what I'm saying? All these other things. You choose to say,
YouTube Premium is...
My bad. And I'm only saying certain things to piss y'all off because y'all should be mad.
Because of your personal viewpoint of thinking, oh, you're supporting genocide, we can't vote for you.
Blah, blah, blah.
And then my bodily autonomy. What's more important than my civil rights? Not you. And not anybody else. So no, you can focus on whatever you want.
You know, this is the first time I'm hearing black people say, this might be for a few minutes of, I'm actually liking this, because when I seen it, we would have been like, this is a celebration for people of color. Well, people of color have won. But anyway, I'm not
focus
gonna
on.
speak on it.
I'm gonna kick my feet up, make me a snack, and mind my black-owned business.
What?
Turning them common stitches and duets off ain't gonna mean nothing.
So I could have talked till I was blue in the face, but this would have took for y'all to stop trying to be African American and just be the African that just say you are. You know what I'm saying? Because right now you might just be the American part, and you forgot who you said you was. Who taught you to hate yourself? Who? Anyway, that's not me who said that.
Your digital footprint is forever. Ain't nobody coming to save you, girl. Ain't nobody coming to save nobody else.
And give it to next week, Arab girl. It's gonna be a Negro out here.
In Israel, and now Israel just did a massacre against the Jabalia refugee camp and murdered 50 children.
Honey, the person you're looking for, her name is Maya. Okay. Maya. That's who you should be directing all of this to, is to Maya. And
now these is all the clone. Oh, sorry, my bad. The clones
who use their massive fucking platforms to encourage people not to vote for Kamala Harris when things get worse inside and outside of the U.S. Do not look to black women for fucking help.
Cassidra, I ain't gonna look to you. Tell them don't look to you for help no more. Like I'm trying to stand up and give an ovation because, oh my goodness, only 500 years. If I would have known this, I would have tried to get Donald Trump to run 500 years ago. If I would have known this would have took for Negroes to realize they ain't got no damn friends. Ain't that something?
Go ask the fucking white man.
Go ask that fool.
That platform, but you.
That's a white dude right there, but yeah, he's trying to go back.
And Muslims, especially for me, someone who was raised in the Middle East, that no matter what marginalized groups Americans come from, they are also self-absorbed and narcissistic. It's actually fascinating to hear and listen to the discussion.
Yeah, I'm definitely absorbed with black people. The hell is, I mean, and the crazy part is, black people be like, no, I'm not. I am not. I love you more than I love myself. And they're speaking facts too. They're like, I love you more than I love myself. Master House is on fire, and we could not do anything to put that thing out. What is we gonna do now?
Discussions that have been going on this app since August, since Kamala became the nominee, of black people asking others to never demand them their votes. And now after Kamala Harris loses, we are seeing black people blaming Arabs and Muslims. Because you saw yourself in a politician who is committing war crimes to our people. We will never ask people specifically based on race or gender for support. Because in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't matter what demographic you come from.
I'm gonna ask people based specifically on a species. Let's be honest here. Let's call it what it is, based on a species. I'm only asking one species for help. Help us help ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Help me, help you, help us help ourselves. That's what I'm gonna call. That's what. So I am being specific, because guess what? You don't have no damn friends. Surprise is a surprise, you know. The memo is on, like, it got sent off, and like if you look on the date, it got sent off in 1438. Like somebody was like, yo, I think they kidnapping black people and like eating them and doing all kind of weird stuff to them. And then we finally got that joint. Well, we might throw it in the trash next week though. So
It matters where you stand in collective liberation and your politics. Blame whoever you want. Like, honestly, at this point, we do not care.
Massive platform. And I'm just paraphrasing, said that he's going to give Benny Boy everything he needs to get the job done. Now, darling, I know for a fact you yourself do not have a military to stop what's about to go down. So,
or Donald Trump or whatever you do, don't vote for Kamala Harris because you will not be accepted into my community. Fine, bitch. We're going to go ahead and give money.
What? Now, she been on there caping for, I don't know how long for everybody. What? Even these clones is like, we must have got we done found the real version of good. How about that? Good. I know y'all hurt and mad right now, but good. Because I've been mad this whole time. Like, I've been trying to tell you, like, ain't nothing wrong. You supposed to be mad. Like, dude was telling you back then, oh, well, any Negro who has any little bit of consciousness and is not furious, there's something wrong with them. Like, y'all don't want to be mad. Y'all want to be comfortable. Good. I'm sorry that you are mad. Well, I'm not even sorry. I'm happy that you finally... And you're not as mad as me because y'all made me even madder by doing this, you know, by sitting there arguing which poison is worse because you're dead either way.
Good luck.
Black folks, take y'all asses back to Starbucks. Go get your mocha frappuccinos. Because I'm about to go get me a whole 24 fucking case. I sure am. I just saw a video of a Palestinian woman saying,
yo, we might be ready. If you take a snapshot of us in this, I'd be like, yo, how this group of people get enslaved for 3 times over the last 1,000 years? Now, if I would have looked last week, in the last few months, I'd be like, okay, yeah, I see. But if I would have looked at this snapshot with black people on here screaming and pissed off, like, I don't give a damn about nobody. I'm pissed off. Whatever happens. I'm going to do what I got to do. I'm like, yo, now this group of people ain't getting, like, it would have never happened. Thank goodness. How about that? You know, I don't care if you're mad.
vote for Jill Stein or Donald Trump or whatever you do, don't vote for Kamala Harris because you will not be accepted into my community. Fine, bitch. We're going to go ahead and give money to that community. Fine. Fuck that. I am on my petty era.
Now, only if we direct that money. Now, we can make our own Starbucks and work with the companies that's funding this stuff if we want to get petty, you know what I'm saying? So we can make profit off of it, you know what I'm saying? That's the only thing we're missing. The part where we like, yo, you know, I don't care so much where I'm willing to do that. But not only that, to take back what is rightfully mine, which is the earth, man.
I am in the most pettiest place that I could be as a fucking Sagittarius. And for me, when I get to this point as Sagittarius, baby, I'm burning everybody, okay? Myself included. The bridge, the house, the people, the animals, and the motherfucking trees. Everybody can get it. Black folks, fuck that shit. Go get your frappuccinos. Go back to McDonald's. Stop protesting everybody that we was protesting because we already know what the fuck they did.
Now, hold on. Then, wasn't y'all protesting the... Oh, no. We would actually make money and protest businesses when it's everybody but black people until you finally see you ain't got no damn friends. Ain't that something? But no, I'm racist. I'm the racist one. I'm wrong for what I said. Good. I'm glad you mad.
Fucked us because they were already fucked and didn't know that fucking us fucked them even more because we ain't for y'all asses no more.
Now, y'all gotta realize if you go back a few months, like this is like all the people that was pissing me off. Like, why is these Negroes talking like this? Like, don't you know that you're black? Don't you know that they'll cut your fingers off if you try to run away, if not be a sex slave or whatever in Gaza or Israel, whatever. Anyway,
suffer. I actually feel good about that. Going to get Starbucks.
Wait, let me run that back one more time.
McDonald's. Stop protesting everybody that we was protesting because we already know what the fuck they did. They fucked us because they were already fucked and didn't know that fucking us fucked them even more because we ain't for y'all asses no more. Suffer. I actually feel good about that.
You know why you feel good about that? do you know why you feel good? Because that's your natural state of being. Caring about your damn self first. If it had to take to the person punch you in the face that one too many times, I'm just glad you got here. Now let's get to therapy before you relapse. That's all I can say. That's my best hope. Let's hurry up and go to therapy before you relapse. Right? Do you know why it feels good to say forget all of them other people? Because that's how you're supposed to be this whole time. And it's crazy. So thank goodness that you finally got there. Oh yeah. And this dude irritate me. Cause he got the red beard and the fingerprint. Like, we ain't gonna go there, but here is your indigenous peoples. And I'm gonna call them the Indians. I'll call y'all, because that's more respectful. I'm gonna call y'all the indigenous peoples. I'm gonna call them the Indians who stabbed you. And listen again, if you go back and look at the history, like I told you, we're gonna get back to the history, but I already did this one in the Black History lessons. All right, this early, and I told you I'm gonna just release the whole thing in series, because y'all probably ain't gonna read the whole history, because I went from the 1400s until I made this YouTube page. You know what I'm saying? So, and then you can go back to this history so you can see what's been going on since then. Right, but I'm telling you, in like 1520s, the Indians stabbed you Negroes in the back, right, and sided with white dudes, which helped your enslavement. And it only took until the 2020s. So from the 1520s to 2020s, we finally learned that even these Indians, why I say call them the Indians, right? See, the other ones, y'all concerned with them even burning up in the sun for being somewhere they ain't got no business being, stealing and making money off of it, which is the key to all of it. The whole thing makes the world go round. Like, your bloodshed makes other people have resources. And it's our lives. This is what I want to tell you. Our lives ain't no damn politics, bro. Like, don't you get it? Our lives to them, our lives are politics. The American question is, what are we going to do with these Negroes? That's why they call it the Lincoln Douglas debates, because George Washington had it too, because what are we gonna do with these Negroes? And he said the Fugitive Slave Act. And Lincoln said, get these Negroes out of here. And you know what Negroes did? Called him Moses and all this other stuff, and Jesus, that set them free when he didn't give a damn about them. And we don't understand that our lives ain't even politics. We don't debate about that. I'm not going to debate about whether a Black person deserved to die or not. I'm not going to do that. And it's not up for debate. And the person must be punished. That's not for debate either. But y'all think that it's politics, that our lives no, your lives is in your own hands. You got. I'm not just saying that stuff. But anyway.
Is from when I was in West Berkeley, California, and we were fighting to preserve indigenous peoples' sacred and burial sites. At the time in West Berkeley, they were about to violate the West Berkeley Shell Mound when we decided to do this protest.
And we was like, let's go out there and jump in front of the pipelines on some Indian dudes' land. Let's walk past all the stuff that we're doing and jump in front of some pipelines that they have going on, and the Indians who won't even accept you onto their land, probably.
That's my younger hand holding a button that the Sky Protectors had presented me with. And this is one of the few pictures I can share from my time in Minnesota when we were protesting to stop Line 3 by any means necessary. So,
yeah, right, fool.
I want you to imagine how I felt when I saw that the Native American population of this country had overwhelmingly voted for Donald Trump.
I imagine it felt like they felt in the 1520s, like, yo, we taught y'all how to fight. Like, do you know that they, like, the rebellion that the Indians were doing here was because, like, the Wolof thing, but they give credit to, like, some Indian. I'll tell you, I don't even remember the Indian dude name, but they made a deal with the Indians to be able to beat the black people, even though the black people taught them how to fight in the 1520s. You know what I'm saying? I imagine you felt like how they felt when they got stabbed in the back. Except for, like, they died. And you might, well, no, I'll take that back. I won't say that because.
Man who has said the following.
Is this you discussing Indian blood? We're going to judge people.
No matter what type of severe asthma you
have Indian blood, whether they're qualified to run a gaming casino or not?
That probably is me, absolutely. Because I'll tell you what, if you look at some of the reservations that you've approved, you, sir, in your great wisdom have approved, I will tell you right now, they don't look like Indians to me. And they don't look like the Indians. Now, maybe we say politically correct or not politically correct. They don't look like Indians to me.
And before
there was white people, though, to be honest, the $5 Indians and stuff. But and that's when he was a Democrat, by the way.
Before we move on, I would like to remind you that blood quantum, what Donald Trump is referencing there, as well as
this dude annoyed me, bro,
by referencing a line that he had used referring to Elizabeth Warren. But yet and still, this is a thing. And this is the goddess of the Black Liberation Militant Movement, Angela Davis. And
wait, what?
This picture
I ain't gonna go there today. Yeah.
In May.
All of y'all are Angela Davis tonight to me. I ain't gonna front. There's a collective Angela Davis going on here.
Of 1973 at Wounded Knee, South Dakota. And this is Oren Lyons of the Lakota Nation.
All right,
they needed to let them know. Now, at none of the events I have personally participated in on behalf of the indigenous population.
All right, anyway.
64% of indigenous people in America voted for Donald Trump.
64% of indigenous folks who could get to the polls voted for Donald Trump.
All right. You already know. Listen, I don't know what to tell you. And you know I'm not going to leave because I ain't even play this but you know I had to bring it up for the East Indian fans out there, right? You know, you got your boy here.
I'm not a house. Okay? I'm a field off the plantation. But this woman is still on the plantation.
Boy. Let me see here.
She is promoting Jill Stein, and she said, I don't think she's a Zionist. Jill Stein is a...
Oh. All right. That's just for the East Indians. So now I got to say this. Yeah, for sure. I got to say this because I often tell you who is the most dangerous species in the universe. And this makes them the most dangerous because you still shocked by it. It's crazy. They can get you all day. And Negroes be still shocked. That's what I'll be like, what the heck? And then good old Carolina. I ain't even listen to none of these, but let's see.
At age 10, we did a day of absence, and I had no idea. They were doing some progressive stuff in Orange, New Jersey.
All right, I ain't gonna listen to this. So
Black women are fed up with white women after the election. There's a lot here. So TikToker Samantha Rock.
So it wasn't slavery, not Jim Crow, not the black woman being hung and them cutting a baby out of her stomach. not being taught to pick a white doll, not your schools being destroyed and your family split up. It was this election, whatever it took, any means necessary, right? Any means necessary. So good.
Ryan best explained the situation. Here it is.
I had a coworker ask me, and this coworker is a white woman, and she was so upset, and she asked me, "Why are Black women opting out? Once Black women get themselves together as a collective,
Raw, considering y'all finally opting out of America, it's a blessing, because y'all, well, not y'all, but they would have been on some. My president is a black. My president is black. Question mark. My Lambo is blue. Period.
Then they call in other communities.
That's
Everybody
what
is
black
in
women would have
agreement.
said.
The day of war comes. Black women stand on the front line. Black women hold up their swords and say, "Charge."
Black women stand on the front lines for America.
Black women stand on the front line. Black women hold up their swords and say, "Charge," and they start running towards the war, towards the battle. Black women look back, and now everybody who said they were going to go to battle with them, now they gone. When Black women come out of,
now they gone. Everybody who said, now, unfortunately, and I'll add that in, you know what I'm saying, because I don't even have nothing for that. She probably gonna add in black men, which is BS, because we see black men on here caping for her. Anyway, we seen black what black men have to say. We're gonna be on the news crying before anything, so don't worry about that, you know. Black males, black males. They've earned that title. See, she gonna include that though. You know what I'm saying? Because we already know like all of the propaganda, but our family, like that's the whole purpose. The first purpose was to divide black men and women from being on the same page, to break up the family unit, to break up the stronghold of a nation, which is like the family unit. And it's to put divisions and to put a lot of things onto black women, which is very, very true. All of these stereotypes and negative stuff, you know what I'm saying? Like, but we already know that the black man is villainized, you know? Anything that you do is whatever. And then we feed into all of that nonsense. Meanwhile, you know who slides in? Because even we know today, you know what I'm saying, a black man is not going to be taken away from his white girl. We know that, you know, right? It doesn't even matter. He going to vote Trump just to get him a white girl. You know what I'm saying? Hell, he'll vote Kamala Harris if it'll get him a white girl. But anyway, anyway.
Out of the battle.
I'm not even being funny. It's the truth.
For everybody's interest, they come out with battle scars, trauma, and some more stuff. And they barely get a thank you. Y'all don't need us to help you in your fight. Y'all have the numbers to do it. Now, we going on vacation.
No, wait, not vacation. We quit. See, this is black people problem. We taking a break. We tired. No, we quit. We're done. We're finished and done. I am glad that you finally realize that you ain't got nothing. Because if you go back and look, and that's what I meant to show. Like you can look at the 2021, the 2016 one, the 1992 one, the 1984 one, and see who white bitches voted for, who Spanish, Hispanic, whenever they got here, who they voted for. You can see that you have no friends, but it doesn't sink in for long. So I had to say this while it's sinking in. This is 8 years ago.
America is a country of deep electoral divides, and it's also more profoundly divided along stark demographic lines. On one side, middle
Guys,
is traditional found.
I'll pick this one instead.
Statistic that 53% of white women voted for Donald Trump. And that's huge. Right. That's kind of shocking.
You know, and I often have this conversation with people. They say, well, what am I supposed to say? It's such a difficult conversation because I asked the question on Labor Day before the election.
I don't even know what happened to Tamika Mallory.
What was the conversation that you were having with your mom, your aunts, sisters, and others about the election? Mm-hmm. Because Black women, regardless of whether we liked Hillary Clinton or not, whatever those—
She might have learned her lesson then. It was like, oh, I ain't getting involved this time. She might have learned this time. She might have been the smart one.
Issues may have been, we understood what we had to go and do. So on Labor Day, we were in the kitchen cooking, saying, you straight, right? You got your ID and everything that you need, you know? And if I have to have a conversation with my son, who, by the way, thinks that I'm the only thing between him and fun, but, you know, but that's another day.
All right.
Method. Even if you are in the right, you still need to bow down in that moment so that you can come home alive. You damn sure can have a conversation with your mother about who she's gonna vote for.
You better bow down so you can come home alive. Ain't that something? But yeah, we can have a conversation about who we're gonna vote for. But while you're out there, bow down so that you can come home alive. Damn, no wonder y'all scared. Y'all think it's about to finna be. But guess what? It always been. That's what I've been trying to tell you. Like, and y'all think it's like made up or anything like that. Listen, it's what do you want? Do you want it with a smile? Apparently so. That was the answer. Yes, you want it with a smile.
Exactly. Absolutely. So Linda, how do you have, I mean, this is an interesting subject to me because it does feel like a gap that.
Anyway, man, I know I'm still going to talk about the other thing that I want to talk about. I know that y'all mad, you know, but that's okay. And a lot of people ain't trying to hear that. But let's see what we got to deal with here now.
Case where a Black male was in a white community doing his pro-democracy thing, and they damn near lynched him. Okay, that's my.
He was doing his pro-democracy thing. The hell does that mean?
Opinion of it. I'm going to take you back to that incident and give you the now. Here it is.
Keep talking. And where the tree at to hang people at? Where is that? Where is the hanging tree at?
In your backyard.
Gentlemen, can I please? No. He just said there's a hanging tree down there to hang people.
He said, in your backyard. He gonna hang you in your backyard. This old and you know what? He probably would have. He ain't gotta hang nobody or lynch nobody. Anyway.
People like me. That's racist. That is racist. Y'all gonna take his back and he's being racist?
He's a crying.
He said he's a crybaby, and he was crying. He said, "You gonna say?" And he's racist. I can't believe this. I can't believe all of these. America is racist. How could it be? It's 2020, whatever year it is. It's 1992. It's 1824. I can't believe it. America is racist. What is it?
To me, breaking news. Hanging tree down there. Are you along with that? Are you?
So y'all gonna see all this because now y'all gonna talk about. Now y'all want to see because at first it was annoying for me to keep talking about all the stuff that was happening because it's so negative. Oh, now you're gonna be like, oh well, look at this because this is going on. Because no, it is not. Just like it ain't. Just like the KKK is not a Democrat thing. Racism or whatever you want to call it is not a Republican thing. All of it is is really not just American. It's Neanderthal thing, and then it's non-Homo sapien thing because the Nisovans do it too, And the mixtures of all of them do it too. So there you have it.
With that as well, like him?
He's my dad.
Don't touch me. Don't touch me. I'm not on your property. Don't touch me. Don't touch me. Don't touch me. Let's do it. Come on, let's go. Slap me. Hit me. I want you to. I want you to hit me.
I love you. You're my brother.
No, I'm not your brother.
You're
Don't
my
touch me.
brother.
This is racist to the most.
You're my brother.
You're wrong.
You're
wrong. You get out of my face.
Do you understand what that means? Do you know where you are? Do you know the history of the town?
I don't give a
That man was in a damn nightmare. I could not imagine.
No, I'm in a nightmare listening to y'all. And I'm going to keep playing all of these. Listen to this. Oh, this man was shot by the police because he wouldn't snitch on his family.
Developing story, a lawsuit was filed against
Killed by the
Shreveport
police.
police in connection with an officer-involved shooting that killed one man. Now, the family of Fleen Miles III is being represented by a well-known civil rights attorney, Bakari Sellers, along with Matthew Robins and Ike Spears. Now, the lawsuit says that Miles was a passenger at the time that the car was pulled over, and when officers asked for his ID, and he ran. Miles reportedly had a gun, but it was always pointed toward the ground. Now, the lawsuit claims that Officer Maverick Caldwell shot Miles multiple times, killing him, and then handcuffed him without trying to save his life. Now, you can find the full lawsuit on our KSLA News 12 website.
Hold on, let me okay, I'll play this one.
Cops kill a black male for refusing to be a snitch. Put it up, full mass. Out of damn control. The police. The lawsuit is alleging Louisiana police hunted and killed a black male for refusing to inform on his own nephew. Officers in Louisiana wanted Fleen Miles III to work as a confidential informant against his nephew. But the 33-year-old black male refused to turn against his
Now
family.
understand, all of this was happening while y'all was arguing about which poison is best for us. Do we want the slow poison or the quick poison? It sounds like the quick poison is good because you might not even take the quick poison. You might actually realize you don't have to take any of it, and might actually realize you are all you got. So this might be the best thing that ever happened to you. As scared as you are, good. As mad as you are, even better. We should be mad.
Family. As a result, he was harassed, threatened, and killed by the Shreveport police. That's according to a federal lawsuit. It points out the law enforcement agency has a long and ugly history of police abuse against Black citizens. We have
what? Breaking news. Police has a long, troubled history with Black people. Ain't that something? Okay.
Is out of the state of Minnesota, Minneapolis to be exact. So you have this big white Mayo monster neighbor from hell, dude named John Herbert Sawchak. This dude has been terrorizing his community for years and years. And finally, he just shot his black neighbor named Davis Motori in the neck, hit him in the neck, sniper style. He's sitting back in the window, picked him off from the window, just right here. You see it, boom, he's falling and everything. You know what I mean? But this is a terrible story, people. This guy has been terrorizing people in his Minneapolis, Minnesota neighborhood for years, okay? And he's been able to do this for years only because he is white. This guy has numerous complaints against him.
By the way, it says a lot of people left, but if anybody want to say anything, you can't come on here before I get off here. I'm about to get off here soon, though.
For violence, people, real violence. He's been attacking neighbors, sending people to the hospital, making them bleed. He's been coming out, blowing his bullhorn, waking people up, throwing human waste on people's property. They say that this guy, this Mayo monster, John Herbert Sawchak, they say that he's mentally ill and dangerous, okay? Mentally ill and dangerous. Now,
Yeah,
there have been many complaints about this dude before he did what he did to this black man right here with the Minneapolis Police Department. They did absolutely nothing. After all the complaining, he was able to do whatever he wanted. So now
you see this brother sitting here doing yard work.
He finally got a black neighbor right here, Davis Maturi, and Davis Maturi has a white wife named Caroline Maturi.
And minding his business, and he shot that brother because you think it, and I'm just not to say it's all, but you can't think it's all sweet, bro. Like, this is not what's up. Our mentality is not what's up. It's not all sweet.
That probably just picked up the mental illness and hate and white supremacy even more. Okay, they just moved in 2023. People, they've only been there for about a year, and when they first moved in, the beef started when this guy CassidraCheek came over to him like a typical white supremacist neighbor do. That's what they do in this passive.
Look at this. Ain't that something? I think this is the brother here. Listen, the most dangerous species in the universe. I'm telling you. But at least mass a house on fire, and there ain't nothing we could do about it. He's sick. Now, I don't know if you sick too. If he dies, you gonna die necessarily. I know we sick, but I don't know if you gonna necessarily die or not. So what are you gonna do after that? Because he might kill you. Anyway, I mean, stop, bro.
Aggressive way, came over to him, letting him know that he wants to cut down a tree on their property. Okay. So the dude said he wanted them to cut down the tree. He wants to cut down the tree, or he wants them to cut it down. They said no, they don't want to cut it down. This dude got very aggressive, started calling them names. This guy, David Maturi, said, I was thinking he just had a bad day, so I left and I came back, and he continued to make threats and say all kind of racially charged things to him, you know, all kinds of names or whatever.
I thought he had a bad day. I think they're having a bad few centuries or millennia.
So after that, this happened when they first moved in. And after that, you know, it escalated, of course.
Okay. Man, look at these brothers. Like, why is it only like it's probably his actual family. And it gotta be because he wouldn't be here. Like, why, bro?
Okay. So this guy, CassidraCheek, started doing things like spraying water on the side of his house, using a blowhorn to keep him up. He said that it got bad. So Davis Maturi, he went and put cameras outside the house to catch the neighbor, you know, put the cameras up. And when the white dude, CassidraCheek, seen him putting the cameras up, he tried to attack him right there. You know what I mean? He said that he had...
All right, man. Because, and look, talking about some standoff.
Thanks for joining us tonight. We are learning new details about the overnight standoff
taken peacefully after this standoff, after killing this brother.
Between Minneapolis police and a man wanted for attempted...
Minneapolis police, shouts out to Philando Castile, if you guys have forgotten, by the way. I don't know who the president was. Can you remind me who the president was at that time? Because it seems not to matter at all. But leave it up to Negroes to leave their own lives to politics, right?
Murder. After multiple hours in wait and as police prepared to fire gas into his home, 54-year-old John CassidraCheek walked into custody. This is the man wanted for allegedly shooting his neighbor over a tree, a crime that placed the MPD in the national spotlight. Morgan Wolf is here now with new information about this takedown. Morgan?
Police say that CassidraCheek has a criminal history, knowledge of explosive devices, access to firearms, and mental health issues, all while living in a residential area. The mayor called this a situation, a quote, cocktail that could have erupted at any moment.
This is the Minneapolis Police Department. We have a search warrant.
In early morning hours, neighbors watched and waited.
Been giving him every opportunity to come out peacefully, and it's not happening yet.
The man inside the home, John CassidraCheek, was wanted by police. They say that he had 3 active arrest warrants at the time he shot his neighbor on October 23rd.
Minneapolis police officers waited for days for the individual to emerge from the house, and he never did.
He waited for days for him to come out the house. What? What? This is 13 days ago, by the way, while y'all was arguing about the lesser of two evils. They waited days for this psychopath to come out the house. Crazy.
Officers were, however, able to confirm that the individual was inside.
Minneapolis police say that they were in contact with Sawchek's family on Sunday night, and a standoff began at 8:30 p.m. With consideration of his mental health issues, access to firearms, and his knowledge of explosives, MPD brought in crisis negotiators to ease him out.
Access to firearms and knowledge of explosive. And so we brought in tactical people to ease him out. What? What? A Negro was walking across the street, so we had to use deadly force because we fear for our lives. Crazy.
Hours later, they eventually took more physical measures, knocking out windows. Around 1:30 a.m. on Monday morning, Sawchek walked out of his home.
They ain't send a robot in to shoot him like they did with our good brother, our hero brother, you know what I'm saying? But
Surrendering peacefully without harming officers, himself, or his neighbors.
I stand with our police officers. Doing this the right way takes courage. It takes the willingness to.
So that is the right way. It is the right way. Because, I don't know. After that Blue Lives Matter bill that passed years ago, or I mean the one that passed under George, I mean the one that passed under Bill Clinton, I mean the one that passed under Ronald, doesn't matter. The one that passed under George Washington, all of them, JFK too included, right? Him too.
To de-escalate it.
A defensive police chief on Friday over the handling of the situation.
Right, you see it, because it's just so they know how to do it right. He said, we handled this the right way. Ain't that something?
Doing this the right way takes courage. It takes the willingness to de-escalate it.
A defensive police chief on Friday over the handling of the situation changed his tone yesterday.
The Minneapolis police somehow did not act urgently enough to prevent that individual from being shot. And to that victim,
They said I guess he was like, yo, he ain't popped that white boy. There you go.
From being shot. And to that victim, I say, I am sorry.
Today, City Council member Emily Koski spoke about how the chief and mayor handled this case.
It might be John Brown in the flesh. Let me get him off the screen for y'all. Relapse. Y'all still mad right now. I'm good. I'm good with y'all being mad. Let me get him off the screen for y'all. Relapse and think John Brown in the flesh is here.
Standing by her and other city council members' efforts of holding them accountable.
So I'm grateful to the chief for apologizing. That was 4 days too late, but I'm grateful that we are making progress towards that justice. And I hope that we're going to do everything.
Oh, wait. So he didn't actually do anything. He just said, oh, he's wrong. And I wish he didn't actually make anything happen, though. I got you.
We possibly can to make sure this never happens again.
Okay.
Sawchek is being held in the county jail on a
Well, maybe if we vote the right person. Wait, no, what? That didn't work? It didn't work in 2008, I'll tell you that. And that's the crazy part, because y'all was like, oh, I learned my lesson with Obama. No, you didn't then. You were lying. You didn't learn your lesson. Or either you're so gullible that you can keep... damn, black people is gullible. Makes sense. Listen to this, though. Another one. Okay.
Father 16 times. Put up the picture full mass.
My bad. Let me...
A white neighbor fatally stabs black grandfather 16 times. Put up the picture full mass. Charles Davis on the left was fatally stabbed by his neighbor, Jerry Gelpy on the right, a suburban New Orleans man who ambushed his neighbor and stabbed him at least 16 times, feigned mental illness in the hopes of raising an insanity defense, saying he was a, quote, son of God and needed to, quote, kill a demon. Jerry Gelpy, 42, was convicted of murder on October 9th after his ruse fell apart in the face of overwhelming evidence. Mr. Gelpi, you're going where you deserve to be, according to the 24th Judicial Circuit Court Judge, Frank Brindisi. He told him while handing down.
And they only said like 30 seconds about this.
Irish man has been convicted of stabbing and killing his neighbor.
42-year-old Jerry Gelpi was convicted of first-degree murder for killing 68-year-old Charles Davis back in 2021. After his arrest, Gelpi claimed that he had a mental illness and pleaded not guilty by reason of insanity. Prosecutors were able to prove that he had a history of faking mental illness before the jury handed down that guilty verdict. Gelpi's sentencing is scheduled for October 9th.
Where you deserve to be, according to the 24th Judicial Circuit Court Judge, pointed directly to the neighbor, Gelpi.
All right, there's another one here.
City's South Side Monday night. Police say an employee shot and killed 2 customers. The accused gunman appeared in court for the first time today. Our Tara Molina was there, and Tara, this video is disturbing.
That's right, Erica, and so were the details we heard in court today. We want to warn you at home, of course, we're not going to show you the actual shooting here, but the video you're about to see could still be very hard to watch. You're about to see surveillance video from inside the JJ Fish and Chicken on Southwestern Avenue around 10:30 Monday night.
The cashier has a gun and shot somebody, and then the caller ran out of the store to call 911.
You can see 2 men inside the restaurant, one sitting down eating and one with an open suitcase he's going through on the ground. He stands up straight as an employee police say is Mehdi Mel Dalil walks into the frame, gun in hand, raising his arm. He points the gun at the man with the suitcase, walking towards him as the man backs up. We are pausing the video here, but you see the man with the suitcase shot in the head and immediately collapse. Then the shooter turns to the man sitting down and shoots him in the head. He falls from his chair to the ground. Picking the video back up, you see the shooter leave the room.
Any other cars? We have a caller. There's 2 DOA inside the business.
The 56 and 57-year-old victims were pronounced dead on the scene. They haven't been publicly identified. Police told us there was an argument before the shooting, but that isn't shown on video and was not mentioned in court. Prosecutors calling this a horrific execution-style killing. They said neither victim was armed, and after shooting them, Med Dalil left the restaurant. Prosecutors also said Med Dalil, quote, was seen handling a firearm in the back kitchen area of the restaurant by the restaurant cook right before the shooting. The restaurant cook heard the gunshots and fled out the back door, then called police. Prosecutors say police then found Med Dalil a couple miles away about 30 minutes later, and he, quote, led police to a dumpster where a firearm was located. He was identified in photos and videos by both the cook who called police and the owner of the restaurant. We took a closer look at his background. Med Dalil has a domestic battery charge from 2021 and a number of traffic violations. His attorney said he has 2 young daughters and claims he didn't shoot anyone. Med Dalil will
Why they did it on camera? But that's good information. He does have 2 young daughters, and he took 2 people's lives. So that's all I'm saying. But I'll play this because I know y'all gonna be playing stuff like this now. So I don't care. I'm gonna play the rest of this.
A barbecue on a Sunday.
I know that.
I don't live here.
How's that sound? You don't live here. I know that.
I don't live here.
Not anymore.
So who you talking
Just because you
to?
were rude to me. Exactly.
Because I was rude to you, what?
I said good morning and you pretend you couldn't hear
My
me.
headphones was on. I don't have to speak to
Now you're
you.
causing a disturbance.
I don't give. I don't have to talk to you. Yes, I don't have to speak to you if I don't want to. I said my headphones are on. Get the elevator.
No.
So we're going to be on this elevator all day.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Yep, exactly.
I don't have to speak to you. Who the
I don't have to answer to you either.
Yeah, good. Go to the 7th floor. We go to the 1st floor now. Get off.
No. I'm nobody.
Exactly.
Hi, you know what, y'all? I'll play the rest of this one. All right.
So
You not? Who are you to tell me to get off?
I'm not telling you. You're the one telling me to get off.
I'm
You're the
telling
one
you to
first
mind your business because You trying to see what floor I'm getting off? Like,
Follow me. How's that sound?
Let's put up the picture.
All right, so I know a lot of y'all gonna be like, "Oh, look at what's happening," and saying that anybody who's saying what I say deserves it, right? But I'm not going to make excuses. I'm going to say, yes, I know that it's happening. Now, what are we going to do about it? Right? But if the other way around, and because it would still be happening, I would say, okay, now you got your way. I'm not going to rub it in your face or whatever. I'm going to say, now, what are we going to do about it? But what I really want you to understand is there is no lesser of two evils. Now, for me, I know I didn't get this mass racist text message or whatever. Right now, I remember in 2016, right, a white dude, he didn't say it to my face. He was in the car, he was passing. It's one of the few times, probably one of the only times, because any other time a white dude said the N-word around me that I've seen, like somebody punched them in the face, because they never said it to me. But this one time after Trump in 2016, right, and I had a driving job at the time, right, so a dude was passing me, and he said something and said the N-word and said some whatever. Now that doesn't particularly bother me when they say it, because I know that they're Neanderthals and all of this stuff. But listen, what I want you to understand is there is no such thing as lesser of two evils. Evil is evil. And this would have been the same way the other way around if it had been the other way. But one thing that I am glad is that you're finally mad enough to do something and stand up. To stop caping for every damn body. To stop making excuses. I'm glad that this happened. Even if you may be mad and not say anything, I get it. That's fine. And listen, people don't have to talk to me anymore. But if you want to do something, my email isn't a thing. And in fact, I'll start planning for something for us to start getting on the thing and talking on the video call. But you got to show your face when we start doing the video call thing. And let me show this again before I get off, because no matter what we're saying, it's people out here actually doing something, right? And they should be supported, right? And we got to start, showing love, And this is the company Divine Inspirations, right? And they're trying to make, like I said, transitional housing for people, for homeless men, women, and children, right? To start actually doing something for ourselves. Newsflash, America is racist. But other newsflash, we have no friends. If we can't even be our own friends, we don't even love ourselves enough to not even let this be a situation. What do you think is going to happen? Anyway, I would like to play this to end it. I would like to play this one to end it. But let me see.
The European economic control of this globe fundamentally has not changed either. The European control of information has not changed fundamentally either. The European control of definition, the definition of reality, the definition of what is and is not, has not changed fundamentally either. And that has been the case for a long time. The European tendency to degrade things African has not changed as well. You may now have a degree in computer technology. You may now have a job that pays you $40,000, $50,000, $60,000 a year, but your fundamental relationship to the European has not changed one whit from the fundamental relationship between our African forefathers and his European slave master. For as you work your computers, you still work to the profits of Europeans. And so the fact that we've moved into the executive offices does not mean we've moved into power. Does not mean that the fundamental power relationship between Europeans and Africans have changed one bit. As a matter of fact, the moving of blacks into the executive offices is an effort to maintain that power and to obscure that power behind a form of neocolonialism. I don't think it is an accident that the desegregation movement and the assimilationist movement in America parallel the neocolonial movement in Africa. As I often tell my classes, you as black students are now being educated to put a black face on white power and to help deceive your people into thinking because you've got a job, we have moved forward as a people.
And listen, I'm not gonna lie to you. Like after this, like I see where people stand at, and yo, it is what it is, and like who says what, who is where, and who is not where. If you understand what I'm saying, now y'all probably don't get it, but listen, it's hard to go back from seeing what is already and seeing who is scared, who is angry, and angry at the wrong ones, and I see the truth a little bit more every day. But you know what, y'all? We got to end it the right way to bring back good times out here when we had a clue, because we might be getting a clue. Now, this is the only thing we need to see next, you know? So we're going to let this actually be the last words because I need it. We need it. We're going to enjoy it. Oh, my bad. I'm back. That boy swimming.
That boy swimming his ass over there. God damn. That boy finna help that boy.
You finna help him.
Get up there, young boy. Get up there, young boy. Get up there, young boy. Shit, they tore his ass up. They tore his ass up.
Thanks, Cassidra. We definitely need to see this more often.
We got action, baby. He ain't finna do nothing. Arrest that ass. Oh, Lord. About that boat, baby. They ready to move on. They ready to move on. You ready to run? Yeah. What's up?
Like a squad.
I was talking a minute ago. Yeah.
Imagine if they was running from Africa shores like this when the Europeans first came. With a bunch of brothers running up like this.
What's up? I was talking a minute ago. Yeah. Woo! 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 They scared. Look at them. They scared. Woo! Beat their ass. Woo! Oh my God. Woo! That what you get. That what you get. That what you get. Oh, tie her ass up.
Tear her ass up. Throw her in the water.
Ooh.
Throw her ass
She
in the
put
water.
her ass. She finna put her in the water. Oh! In the water. In the water. Tie his ass up. Cause y'all were wrong. Do some. Boop. 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 Boop.
Imagine that if they had did that on the shores of Africa. Oh, he's like, he jumped in the water. It's gonna be a sister, or speaking the language we spoke, of course. He jumped in the water.
Yeah! Yeah!
Should have been an alligator. Shouts out to the Harriet and Miss Harriet Tubman, of course. Hey, Cassidra, she was right. I get what she was saying, right? I freed 1,000 slaves, but I could have freed thousands more if only they knew they were slaves. And that's something. All right, we're gonna stop it right there. That's where the whole day ended right there. Nothing else happened after that. So yeah, it looked like we got amnesia though, so it is what it is, you know. Man, that's what it looks like if we would be divinely inspired, you know what I'm saying, and realize what time it is. And maybe, just maybe, this is what you needed to stay in that energy all the time. Where you walk around with a folding chair in your trunk or your car or something just in case. Yeah, I had to play that, Cassidra. That's the only thing that could have brought us back, you know. That's the only hope that I have for us is the folding chair, you know. But anyway, we're going to be back Wednesday. And listen, like I said, I just was watching and paying attention to everything. You know what I'm saying? And I see what everybody is saying and not saying, and where everybody is at and not at, and doing and not doing. And I know people was like, oh, well, I'm going to judge people off of a certain thing, but it kind of goes back at you. You know what I'm saying? Because it shows that you are looking for a John Brown type. You are looking for a savior, somebody to come and save you. And nobody is coming. And as much as I love you, until you realize that you are doomed, we are doomed. And the problem is you being doomed makes me doomed. And I can't have that. I would have pushed the button if I could have. But anyway, man. Shouts out to Cassidra. Shouts out to Raw. Shouts out to my brother Anthony. And shouts out to Bakari, who was in here. And shouts out to Eric Howard. And, you know, that's it. So, as always, man, we have got to start standing for something, or we're going to keep falling for anything.